good morning, evening, or afternoon, whichever one's going on for you at this current point in time. We're changing the filter, not the housing, just the filter. This is a 1A25A type of canister or housing, and the refill for it, I don't know if you could see that old paper, but it is a 1A30. So I went and picked up the replacement for said such. This is the, I don't know if you can see that, this is the wool. They do make ones that are paper and other materials, but this is the one that that was available. Comes with the big gasket for the canister, as well as the, let me see if I can kind of work it around. It comes with two little tiny baby gaskets right there. One, you see the bigger one, that's going to go around the top bolt on the outside, and the other one is going to be for this little baby screw right here. Let me just get a light for you. That little screw right there, that is called a purging screw. So that's where your air is going to come out. Once you put in the new filter, you have to open up the tank, let it saturate that filter with oil, and then it's going to work all the air out, and you're going to hear a little bit of hissing. Once you see clean, consistent oil coming out, put that screw in with that new seal, and that's going to be good to go. Ideally, you should be changing these filters out at the start of every heating season. So right before you start using your heater, change out with a new filter. Some people neglect it. I'm pretty sure whatever filter's in here is probably older than me, given the state of the tank. So I'd say probably the 40, 50, 60, 70 years, who knows. But, you know, it's held up well. So let's get this started. The first thing I'm going to do is a little bit of brake clean. You can use, you know, things that are, please, non-flammable. Obviously, it goes without saying, when you're dealing with an oil tank or anything flammable, do not have a cigarette in your mouth while you're doing this. But yeah, let's start with cleaning. And also have a bucket, you know, something gross that's going to catch all the oil and all the gross stuff. And also keep a mask. Also going to hit it with a couple of paper towels. Use low lint paper towels. This is just what I happen to have on, but if you got shop towels or anything, clean up any of this buildup that's around the pipes. It's a really nice touch that you're not just unscrewing, throwing in a filter for somebody and then walking away. Take a little pride in your work. It takes 2 seconds, and the main thing is people want to see a difference, whether they're going to pay you $5 or $5 million. It's all about presentation, right? People want to feel like they got their money's worth. And that's, you know, respect their home. No cursing, no loud music. If you got to take a phone call, there's no need to put it on speaker and scream at your phone, right? You want to show them the same respect that hopefully you would want in your home. I wouldn't want anybody coming into my house without saying, "Good morning, how are you? Address me. What are you here for?" Right? I'm so glad that my mother taught me how to be a decent person, so that when I'm around people, a little bit of her reflects in me, right? That's not to give her all the credit. I am a pretty decent, cool guy, but, you know, you do want to make sure, take a little time to prepare. Now, something I didn't mention was this is a 1/2-inch bolt up here. This is, I believe, a 5/16, right? And on the bottom, there's also it's like a nut that is attached to the housing. So the only bolt that's going to come out is the top one. The one that's down here is attached to the housing canister. So let's get those wrenches and we can get started. I didn't think it was worth saying it, but this is the internet, and there's always going to be that one person that asks, should you close it? Yes, this is a completely closed off oil tank. You want to make sure that it's not just going to keep pouring. But remember, when you open that housing, whatever is in the pressurized line that goes all the way up to your, you know, wherever your oil burner is, all that oil is going to come back down. So do keep that in mind. Do make sure that you turn off the emergency shut off and anything, so that even if you cut the tank, that nobody is trying to activate the pump and running it dry, trying to get oil where it's not going to come out. Right, so the bottom does have a 1/2 inch nut, and then the top has a 1/2 inch. Since I don't have 2 1/2 inch wrenches, hey, if anybody wants to send me one, by all means. Otherwise, adjustable wrench to the rescue. Whoa, that's definitely been on for absolutely many years. So once you get this bolt spinning, you'll notice the housing will just start dropping down. When that happens, just like any car filter, get ready for the splash. Keep the bucket ready and watch for any drips. All right, long bolt out. Look at that. This thing is absolutely seized in here. Oh, look at that, chunky. Just all sludged up. I'm gonna get that cleaned out in a second. But the filter has busted its for who knows how many years. Very impressive. Alrighty, my other phone died, so next, once the housing is clean, relatively clean, you're gonna make sure that that mesh filter sits right inside. Sometimes they come from the factory squished down, kind of oblong, whatever. You gotta make sure that it fits in there. Not to the side, not offset, because if it squishes down, when you squish that bolt, it will still squish in, but not the way you want it to. So once you know that it's good and snug, you can look down and see that it is sitting the way it's supposed to. You can see the threads and everything nice and clean. Now we're ready to install. Be very careful. On the end of your bolt, there could still be that gasket hanging around, so make sure that you get rid of the old one that looks like that, and you get the new one, and you can tell because it's not black at all, it's completely orange or whatever your manufacturer makes it as. Make sure that gasket is completely clean. You're going to feed it over the bolt. This does not go on the inside, it goes on the outside. Same thing with the gasket, nice and clean. You want to make sure it sits all the way around the edge, flush. Nothing in the way. Right? Me personally, I like to have it with the label toward me, but make sure all the way around, equal force. If it looks crooked, stop, start over. Same thing with the little mini bolt for the purge valve with a tiny little gasket as well. Do not reuse these. If you can't get it, leave the old one in there. All right, I'm just gonna give it a couple threads because we do need to purge the air out of there. There is no, I mean, yours might have a torque spec, but this is gonna be until it is snug. Whatever snug is for you. Might be a little subjective, but snug. You should see that the housing canister pulls itself in nice and tight, and there should be a little bit of pull that you kind of see it slip off. If you feel like you cross-threaded it, stop. Don't just keep wrenching on it, please. Last thing you want is a bunch of oil all over your floor. This stuff is red, smelly, and it does stain. Once it's snug, you're gonna slowly open your oil tank. You're gonna check for leaks at the gasket. You're gonna check for leaks at the bolt, but also you're looking for that hiss of air. All right, so that's all the way open. I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a turn back. I hate backing out old valves all the way. You can hear a little bit of bubbling, a little hissing. Sometimes you gotta take the bolt out all the way. Yep, I'm hearing the hiss. Whoa, a little bit of a spray. That's why we put the bucket down. You don't want full pressure, you want slow. But I did that on purpose just to show you what would happen. If you start freaking out, it is not good. That's why you want the bucket down there. It's showing you what not to do. right? So this is messy. I wanted to show you what happens if it doesn't go perfectly, where you just take the air off just so slightly. I wanted to show you what happens if you accidentally back it out all the way. It's going to pressurize that canister and be spraying. So that's what you need to be on the lookout for. If you are new to this, or if you're, kind of squeamish about touching gross stuff, I'd recommend not opening your valve all the way, just about half, maybe a quarter of the way, letting that fill with oil. And then once it's closed, then you can fully open up the service. Tighten down this purge screw. Back in with our 5/16 socket. Again, you're not trying to crank this thing down like you're training for the Olympics. Nice and snug. Once you feel a bunch of resistance, that you see the housing itself kind of start to flex, stop. Stop, all right? Just stop. I'm gonna give it one more quick spray. Since this is quick drying, I just wanna look for anything that could potentially be a point of leak. Check these fittings, check any of the old adhesive, check the valve over here. You wanna make sure anything that you could potentially note to the owner in the future, or the tenants or whoever, you wanna do that. You don't wanna be, aware of something that could be a time bomb and you kept it to yourself because you wanted to get out of there. I don't care if it's Friday. I don't care if you got stuff to do. I don't care if you got places to be. If it's a fire or a flood or something that you can avoid just with a couple of words, take the time. We're all human. We're all supposed to be here to help each other. Now just a once around the gasket, just to make sure there's nothing. And if you see brown, you're okay. If you happen to see like a deep red, that's fresh oil. That means you have a leak somewhere. But old and brown is okay. Old and black is okay. Fresh and red, not good. Only place that should be is inside the tank, inside your filter, and inside your oil burner. You should never see that fresh oil anywhere. If you want to take a little marker here and just write the date that you change the filter, that'd be great, whether it's a reminder to yourself or whoever the next guy is who's going to be doing this for you. Couple threads down, and I'm going to go turn on the emergency switch back on to make sure everything's powered back up. So we've introduced air to the system. After giving it a little time with the tank open through the filter, making sure it gets its way over there, I'm going to purge out any air at the burner itself to make sure there's oil from point A to point B to point C. Man, I'll tell you, these Becketts last longer than any relationship I've had. Holy crap. Be very careful with these old drain valves. You don't want to strip them off. Okay, a little bit of a crack. I'm pretty sure this hasn't been touched either in a while. All right, a little bit of a drip. And once you open it up a little more, make sure we have a constant stream. I just want to check these threads really quick, make sure everything's on the up and up. Once you get a constant stream of oil like this, you are good. Just make sure you give it a good snug down after. It's not a bad idea to grab a paper towel, spray this down, and make sure there's not a bit of a leak or anything, especially with ancient threads like this, because you never know. You walk away and it's all good. Next thing you know, as soon as you get home, somebody calls you, it's pissing oil everywhere. This should be good though.